All right, we'll just start off. Good to be 1-0. Definitely would like to have played a little better, but I'm going to give East Texas A&M a lot of credit. I told y'all Clint's doing it the right way, and I thought they played that way. Game ones, our game ones, there's a combination of game one, combination of playing a lot of new guys, and a combination of us not playing well. And in the first half, particularly offensively, that's what it was. Second half was better. Hard to tell. We didn't have the ball as much offensively. It was weird. The long drive, we picked six, and another long, but about the only thing I said in the second half, I think we had 0 penalties, so that was an improvement from what we're doing in the first half. Defensively, kept them out of the end zone with our starters, scored twice on defense. So played a lot of guys. You lost Jordan on the first play, lost Kilgore on his touchdown. A lot of guys got to get in and play, and that's a good thing because we're going to need them next week. And I told you guys on, I think it was Tuesday, we got a long way to go in a short time to get there, and that short time is 6 days from now. So, we got to make a big jump from game one to game two.
Jordan and Kilgore, what do you?
Yeah, I don't know the extent in terms of like how long they're out, if they'll be available this week or not. The positive, both of them had x-rays, Jordan on the elbow, Kilgore on the foot or the ankle, and the x-rays were negative, so that's positive. Other than that, I don't have any more info right now, but I know that was best case scenario, so that's good.
How frustrating and concerning is it when you lose 2 starters in the first game of the year?
Yeah, I mean, look, football's a game of adversity. It comes in different sizes. Last year we were down 11 with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter on the road in game one. So we found a way to win, and I think we left that game and nobody thought we were going to be very good, and we played in the playoffs. So, it happened tonight. I hate it for Jordan because Jordan has been so good. I'm talking the way he's been practicing. We're sitting there going, man, we got Jordan and Romello and Kevin, those guys are on the same page. And so I hate it for Jordan first, just because he's worked so hard to get himself in this position. And so now next man up, and next man happened to be a freshman. I thought Jalen Cooper did some good things, Carterius Brown. We got Isaiah Robertson and Link Rhodes in there late as well. So, those guys are going to have to be ready to roll depending on if Jordan is out and if so, for how long. The only thing I know is because it was negative, that it shouldn't be season ending, I don't think, but I don't want to confirm that because I'm not a doctor. But hate it for him. Happy the other guys were able to step up and make some plays. Hate it for Kilgore. I mean, stinks to score a touchdown and get hurt, and that's kind of been the leader of our defense. So kind of lost the leader of our defense and another senior on the offensive side. That's football. So just happened in week one. We got to get ready. Next guy's up.
Coach, what was something that surprised you this game?
What was something that surprised me? This is 18 years for me, and I've learned to not be surprised by anything in the first game. I mean, I'm dead serious. I would have liked to have played better in a lot of areas, but I don't know if I've ever left the first game and not felt that way. So, we celebrated the win in the locker room, and we're 1-0, and the reality of it is no matter how we had played, we couldn't get more than one win tonight. We got one. Lost some guys. I was proud of how the guys that had to come in as freshmen played. I really was. I mean, they're freshmen, and but I don't know. I don't think one thing surprised me, but that's just game ones.
What were your takeaways on the offensive line from what you could see without doing?
Yeah, we obviously ran the ball well early, and then we had a couple holding calls that killed some drives. And, some cases we don't need to hold, some cases maybe we got bad luck. But we've got to be better, in terms of that, because a holding call kills most drives. So we'll see. I mean, I need to look at the film. I mean, in real time, we want to run the football better than we did tonight. That's not all on the O-line. There's backs, tight ends, everybody involved, me. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, game one for them as a unit, it's weird when you get in a game that's just totally different. So, I thought we settled in the second half. We only got like 3 drives, I think, in the second half offensively with Kevin in there. But we'll see. And, they say you make a big jump from game one to game two. We need to do that.
You touched on Jalen Cooper's performance.
Yeah.
What do you think of him, and was that a performance that maybe can build some trust in playing him in bigger games?
Yeah, he's going to play next week, so it's a big game. Well, we knew with Jordan and Romello coming back and going and getting an experienced guy like Ymir, and then it was good to see RJ, play. We intended to play him a little. We always intended not to play him a lot. It was good to see him make 2 or 3 catches and, get tackled and get up. But we always knew these young guys were going to have to play. I mean, they were always going to play in this game, even if Jordan did get hurt, and they were always going to have to play next week. So it was good to see Jay Coop get in there and, get a full game under his belt before next week, depending on, Jordan's availability.
Coach, 3 plays in, 63-yard TD pass. Can
Yeah.
you talk about how you drew that up and was it executed to perfection? Is that how you?
Yeah, I mean, we felt like that formation was going to get us a one-on-one, and felt good with the matchup. And like I said, Kevin and Romello have been good, so to execute that was great. The first 3 plays, other than Jordan getting hurt, went really well, and then we just were very consistent after that. But I think you see what Romello and Kevin can do in one-on-one situations.
Coach, before the season started, you talked about you wanted to see how this team handles adversity or maybe going down a touchdown. You never went down, but do you think in the certain spots where your team did face adversity, those moments could help you moving forward?
Oh yeah, they're going to help us. I mean, look, this was this was game 1 for this team. Like, this team has never played together till tonight. This was game 1, and so we were always going to learn a lot about ourselves. We were going to learn a lot about how we respond, good and bad. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of work to do in terms of not just the score or the cleanliness or how it looks, just coming together and playing together. And you can only do that by playing. So we have to play through that, and we have to find ways to keep winning as we do that. So I was proud that we responded when maybe the offense wasn't playing well, or they would go on some long drives. We'd keep them out of the end zone on defense. We scored twice on defense. We responded. I think we had 8 penalties in the first half. Probably 4 or 5 were very legitimate. We've never had a kid flip in the end zone on a touchdown here. It's inexcusable. It's not what we do. We jumped off sides, I think, on the first drive on defense. And like I said, we had some holding penalties that hurt us. They cleaned that up in the second half. So hopefully that'll become the norm for this team. Yeah.
You mentioned the disappointment in losing Alex Kilgore, and that comes on the heels of the graduation of 2 guys who played an awful lot of football for you. I know you haven't had a chance to watch it back yet, but did you get a sense, what did you think of Villasana and Booker and Barker and Medlock filling those roles?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they went in and played well, played hard. I mean, again, our one defense gave up 3 points. So, that's good no matter what. So those guys did a nice job. I think they did spit a few runs in the second half on us that I don't know why without watching it back. So, we felt like Brandon Booker's had a really good camp, young player that we feel like is going to be good, just like, Jalen Cooper and some of those other receivers. Time gets here quicker sometimes than you expect. Brandon Villasana's been here a long time. Mentally, he knows what to do. It was good to see him make some open field tackles. I thought having Barker here, we're going to need his leadership. So, we'll see, but it's good those guys got a lot of work tonight in case Kilgore's not available next week.
Are you finding it more common that you're seeing some of this week 1? There was week 1 always kind of been like a mixed bag of all sorts of things for teams. Like, I don't know if you got time to watch much today.
Oh, I did.
But,
I mean, offensive football always takes longer than defensive football. I mean, you watched the Texas-Ohio State game today, and it was like 7-0 for 3 quarters. And that one touchdown was like clawing to get the touchdown, like it was almost impossible to get it. So I don't know some of the other games. It's not an excuse. It just is what it is. So I don't know if I'm surprised. I did feel like we had a good week. I felt like we were in a good position. They did a nice. Again, we come out and score, and then we're running the ball, but then we're going backwards, holding penalties, going backwards, and they're doing a nice job of starting. After that first drive, they were going to let us run by them again. So 2 safeties, everybody back, and you have to efficiently execute the intermediate passing game, run the football, and you can't have 2nd and 20s and those kind of things to do that. So those are the things that hopefully we'll get more efficient with.
Hey Coach, I'm curious your thoughts on Kevin's performance now moving, coming off of a full offseason being a starter. How do you think he did, and what do you think he needs to work on to move forward?
Yeah, I thought Kevin had one bad play in the night. It was interception in the end zone, and it was also a really bad route. So it was a team effort on that by those two, senior and Kevin's a junior. But we had a route that should have been a fairly automatic touchdown, and we need to run a little bit better route. We need to throw the ball a little bit harder out in front, and we don't do either one, and it's interception. You don't expect that, from your starting quarterback and your senior wide receiver. Can't have that in the red zone. Other than that, he was 22 of 30. He loses one of his top 2 targets on the first play. So he's playing with a lot of guys that have never played college football. The sack fumble wasn't on him. We got beat on the inside and had a bust and got hit in the back. So, those are the 2 plays that people are going to stand out. Thought he was fine, we got to be better as a unit, So I have 0 concerns about Kevin.
You talked during camp about the benefit Kevin had knowing that the job was his coming into this season. Wondering just what he was like in the days, the week leading up to the game, and what interaction you had with him to get him ready, just nerves-wise or anything like that, after having played 9-10 games.
Yeah, I don't think Kevin had any nerves at all. More than a lot of people get anxious for a game, but if you're prepared, you're never nervous. So I thought our guys were excited to play. They were ready to play. Sometimes, that can work against you a little bit, but we started pretty fast. We prepared like we always do. That's the one thing we do. We're going to do what we do, and we're going to be consistent in how we prepare. And when we play good, we're going to come back and do the same thing. When we play poor, we're going to come back and do the same thing. Now, we got to have just as much urgency when we win and play well as we do when we win and don't play well or maybe don't win. So we prepared the same way. I didn't tell Kevin anything special. He's been here now for 3 years, so thought he was ready to go, and he'll be ready to go every week.
Anything else?
Before we move on, I just want to acknowledge, I think we had a record student attendance. That's awesome. Our students have been fantastic over the last 3 years. I think 2 years ago we set the season record. Last year we broke that record, and today we set a single game record. So just cannot thank our fans enough. It was a great crowd with all the rain early in the day. I'm sure that didn't make the Boulevard any more fun than it normally is. Fans were great. We're going to need that home field advantage next Saturday at 11 a.m. And we're going to need that students. I think whatever the record was, let's break it next week again. And we're going to need that crowd there. Our guys will be ready to play. And we need to get a win in Reverse Boulevard and have a good Saturday. So appreciate it.